Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm sorry for the really long break that I've taken. I haven't filmed anything since before Thanksgiving, and it is now January. So between Thanksgiving and Christmas and my birthday and New Year's and working and everything else, I've just honestly not filmed anything and not felt like filming anything. So today I'm going to start back doing some videos, and if you cannot tell by the title of this video, it is going to be baby pregnancy bump dates. I'm so excited. We are officially pregnant. Yay! I'm 10 weeks as of yesterday by the app that I use on my phone and by our appointments that we've been to. So I wanted to film this video today, mostly just a yay, we're pregnant, and wanted to talk about what worked for us. I wanted to talk about our infertility journey a little bit and the next steps and what worked for us getting pregnant with PCOS, as well as how we found out. Now, a disclaimer, of course, to the beginning of all of these videos is that this is going to be some TMI information for people who are trying to get pregnant, or if you are not someone who wants to listen to that or hear about bodily functions, then just turn off of this video right now because it's not for you. So if you haven't already, go watch my video about our infertility journey up until this point. I had started a new round of fertility treatments in September, and I believe that's when I filmed this video, so I will link it below or add a card up here. And you can go watch that, and it will give you a history of what's happened so far. So starting from where that video left off, we did one round of Femera, and it was unsuccessful. We did not get pregnant, but I did have a cycle on my own after that. And my cycle during the Femera period was 34 days. And when I had not got a positive pregnancy test, but I had symptoms of ovulation, which was I'd had the sore breasts again, I had had a positive ovulation test, and I kind of just really felt like I was going to get pregnant that time, and we didn't. So I called the doctor and I spoke with the nurse, and the nurse said, okay, just wait, let your body naturally have a period again. When you have that period, call me. So I did that. Ended up day 34, I started my next cycle. I called her and she said, okay, that means that you ovulated around day 20. You need to calculate 14 days back from when you start your cycle, and that's about when you ovulated. And this is information that nobody had ever told me up until now. So the last time we had tried, if you watch that video, I got new information like symptoms and signs that I ovulated, and this time was the first time someone told me to count backwards. So with that new information, she said, okay, you probably just missed your days. You were focused on around day 14, day 15, and you needed to be focused around day 20. And she said, let's just do another round of Femera since you seem to have, responded to that. And let's do a progesterone level and do, time everything around day 20. And they did the progesterone level around day, I think, 30, 31. So that's what we did the second month. And I just really kind of paid attention to my body. I did not take ovulation tests because I didn't want to get my hopes up and obsess over, one particular day. I just kind of tried to pay attention around day 12, 14, that we just kind of did what we needed to do every 2 or 3 days up until day 20 something. And let me tell you, that's easier said than done when it comes down to it, and you have two people who have work schedules and you're tired and you are busy. It's not as much fun as what you think it would be to try to time things like that out. But we did what we needed to do, and I honestly just tried to pay attention to my body and look up symptoms of ovulation and kind of went with that. But around day 15, maybe 15 or 16, I started noticing my cervical mucus was fertile, which is what I'd read online, which was that it becomes thin, egg white, slippery, and you have an increase in it. So I started realizing that, and that's something I didn't really pay attention to ever before because I didn't know, you know, around what time and what to be looking for. So I noticed that, and I just kind of made sure that that was the time frame that I focused on. I tried to make sure that, you know, things were being done during that week or so that I had that. And then a couple days after that stopped, my breast became very tender and very sore. So that was kind of my definite sign that I did ovulate, between those two kind of things, the cervical mucus and then the tender breast after I thought I ovulated. So based on those things, I ovulated when I thought I did. And I got a progesterone level drawn around day 31. So with that being said, around day 31, I can't remember, but I think at this point I was trying to go focus on that. I was focusing on that day 34 being the end of my cycle. So about a week before that, I was already testing twice a day pretty much. I had stocked up on pregnancy tests. I was taking them every day, twice a day, just because I was obsessed with it and was hoping and praying that this was going to be it. So of course they were negative. Every day was just negative. And then the week of Thanksgiving, Aaron was off of work, and I would have been, I think my cycle would have started on Friday the 25th or the 24th on Thanksgiving Day. I was taking tests every morning and kind of second guessing it, and there was one morning when I took a cheap blue dye test. And if you've ever tried to conceive for a long period of time, you know that the pink test, like the first response, the ones with just pink 2 lines, are usually the best, and the ones with the blue lines that give you a plus or a minus can give you, you know, false positives. They look questionable more so, and they're very hard to tell if it's a positive, if it's faint. So I had taken a test on Wednesday the 23rd, November 23rd. I took a test that morning, and it was one of those cheap dollar store blue dye tests because I didn't want to stock up on the expensive stuff. And I thought it looked positive. And I think I questioned it to Aaron, and Aaron's like, I don't really see anything, you know, just keep trying. So I kind of just didn't think anything of it because it honestly was so faint that I honestly didn't believe it. I just thought, that's that blue dye, whatever. So at lunch, I decided to go out and get lunch, and I stopped by the dollar store and got a couple of the pink tests. And I came home at lunch and I took it, not really thinking it would be anything, just mostly just to clear my thoughts and know that it was negative, because again, if you've ever tried to conceive for a long period of time, you know that you're not going to think about anything else until you get another test that's negative. That's all you're going to think about. So I took the test at lunch, and I just kind of put it aside for a minute and didn't stare at it like I normally do and sit there and watch it. I gave it a few minutes, and I came back to it, and I know I saw a line. I know I did. There was a line there. There were 2 pink lines. And I wish I had filmed all of this. I had always in my mind thought that I would have the camera out and, you know, immediately start filming my reaction. But when it was happening at that moment and we were so excited and everything was just kind of like chaos, I didn't even think to do that. So I saw the 2 lines, and I immediately ran to Aaron and I said, Aaron, you need to look at this. There's 2 lines here. He said, no, there's not. I said, Aaron, there's definitely 2 lines here. I'm looking at them. No, Sarah, you're just getting your hopes up. I don't want you to get your hopes up and get disappointed. I really don't think there's a line there. And I tell you, there was a line. And if I still have the picture on my phone, I will insert it now. But I had taken a couple of pictures in different light, and I was a part of a Trying to Conceive group on Facebook, and I even put it on there, which it was like nobody that was my friends. It was just a private group. And I said, guys, what do you think? And most of them agreed with me that that was the second line. And for it to have came up middle of the day without me, like, you know, it wasn't first morning urine, which is always the most, you know, concentrated, and you're going to get a more true result. I felt like that was pretty good for it to be lunchtime and to have 2 lines. So I was freaking out. I was in tears. I was so excited, and Aaron still did not believe it. Now, mind you, I was working that day, and I work from home, so I had to try to finish 3 or 4 more hours worth of work and try to just move on with my day when this was all I could think about. And Aaron still believed that it was negative. He really didn't want to get our hopes up and get excited when we really didn't know. So he agreed and I agreed, let's call the doctor and see if they'll order a blood test. And I don't think I had gotten a progesterone level. If I did, at this point, it was only like 2 days but ahead of time, and they did tell me that I ovulated, so we knew I ovulated. And everything was matching up, so it would have been, you know, everything perfect. But anyway, after work, I just said, okay, I'm gonna go, you know, run to the hospital and get blood work. Now, this is Wednesday at about 5 o'clock before a holiday. I go to the hospital and I get the blood work, and it ends up that the type of blood work that they ordered was either going to be just a positive or a negative. It wasn't going to give me like an HCG level. I couldn't get that for a couple of days, and I, you know, just had to sit there and wait. She couldn't give me a printout. I really wanted a printout, and I wanted to come home and open it with Aaron so we knew, but she said she couldn't do that. She just had, the results had to be printed off a couple days later, and that could be Friday or Saturday because of the holiday. So she said, I can just tell you if it's positive or negative. So I sat there and I waited, and it was just me. Aaron didn't go with me, and she ended up telling me, yes, it's positive, I'm pregnant. So I was super excited. Here I am, like, this girl who is someone I work with because I work at the hospital and I know who she is. And she's the only person in the whole world that, you know, basically knows for sure, me and her, that I'm pregnant. So I knew it. I wasn't shocked. I just wanted that reassurance, and Aaron needed that proof. So I immediately, I went to Walmart because it was the only place that, you know, really has any baby stuff. And I found a little onesie that says, Daddy's Hunting Buddy. And I took it, brought it back home. I didn't call Aaron. I didn't want to tell him over the phone. I came home, I walked in, and I pulled out the onesie and just handed it to him, and I said, this is for real, this is the real thing. And he immediately believed it then, and then we both were just so happy and crying and joyful. And it was one of those moments that I do wish I had filmed, but again, when everything is happening and you've just waited so long for that, you don't even think about getting a camera out and start filming your reactions when it's just that emotional. So at that point, we were overjoyed and thrilled, and we decided we're not telling anybody for a little while. This is the day before Thanksgiving, and we had originally thought, let's not tell anybody till Christmas. Let's keep it just to ourselves. And after a few hours of that, I was like, no, I can't do this. I can't keep this from my family, especially my mom. I have to tell everybody. So we did not tell anybody at Thanksgiving, and that was very hard to get through the Thanksgiving meal without mentioning it or anything. But the next day or two, I think the next day, was my dad's birthday, and we celebrated it, I believe, that night. And I went up to my mom and dad's, and we had dinner, and we decided not to tell them until the end of dinner. And we had ate dinner and talked, and everything was you know, just kind of going along, and it was killing me not to tell them immediately. And my brother was like, okay, well, I'm gonna head out. And I was like, no, don't leave yet. And Mom was picking up dishes, and I was like, Mom, come over here, sit down for a second. And she's like, well, why? I'm like, come here, you need to sit down. So once they sat down, we told everybody with my family, my mom and dad and brother. And then I think at that point, you know, we called a few people on the phone and told them, like close friends and a couple other family members. And then we told Aaron's parents. We went to their house and told them. And we did the same thing. Aaron kept wanting to wait a few minutes. Now, I was one who would have opened the door and blurted it out, but we kind of talked for a few minutes and, you know, caught up and chit-chatted, and that was hard to kind of hold that in the whole time until we finally told them. So, it was really exciting to kind of go through all of that, and this was all around Thanksgiving, but we agreed that we weren't going to make it Facebook official or tell anybody outside of our immediate circle for a few weeks, at least until we went to the first doctor's appointment and got an ultrasound and kind of, you know, made sure everything was okay. So we did that. I believe our appointment was it was December 10th maybe. Our first appointment was December 14th. So there was about 2 or 3 weeks there where we knew we were pregnant, but we didn't tell anyone other than our immediate family members. And that was kind of nice and kind of fun to know, and not really it'd be a big deal to anybody else but us. And then once we had the ultrasound and made sure that there was just one baby in there and that everything was good, we had a heartbeat of 121 the first day, and everything was perfect. So after we got home, we took a couple pictures in front of the Christmas tree with a little onesie that I've had for months that my friends gave us a long time ago that said "worth the wait." And that's how we kind of announced it to Facebook, which is pretty much the modern way of just, you know, doing a pregnancy announcement, because everybody sees it and it, you know, gets out there fast, and you don't like exclude anybody really. So that's kind of how we told everybody outside of our immediate circle. And when we told we were about 6 weeks pregnant, they said at that ultrasound, and there was a lot of, I feel like a lot of people think that that's early to tell, but we thought, and me especially, that this is our baby, whether it is 6 weeks old or, you know, 6 weeks in the belly. It doesn't matter. It's a baby, and it's our baby, and this is our first pregnancy, and we wanted to celebrate that. And we did not want to go through anything alone. We wanted to make sure that there were extra prayers and extra people thinking about us and enjoying this baby, because it was a miracle and it was a blessing, and we've waited, you know, 2.5, almost 3 years for it, so we didn't want to keep it to ourselves much longer. So I know there's a lot of people who will wait until that second trimester, but honestly, if something was to happen to our child, then I wouldn't want to go through that alone. I couldn't imagine not having told people and then, you know, not having that comfort and support in that. Now that's just for us, that's not for everyone, but that's what we decided to do. So at this point today, I am 10 weeks, and I am going to film a second video about my actual 10-week update and kind of my symptoms up until now. But I wanted this video to just be an announcement of kind of what's going to be happening with this channel, which is bump dates and mommy stuff and pregnancy stuff, which is everything I wanted it to be in the first place. And I'm going to be doing some organizing and nesting as soon as I get energy and feel better, and that's that other video that I'm gonna link. It will either be up around the same time. If not, be sure to subscribe so that way you will see it, because I'll probably put it up later this week. But I'm gonna do all kinds of new videos, more mommy related from here on out, and I really just want to document everything through this entire pregnancy, and I'm just so excited. We are so thrilled and overjoyed, and we hope and pray that you guys will keep us in your prayers, and just hope and pray for a happy, healthy baby and wonderful experience for everybody. So thank you so much for staying tuned and watching this long-winded video at this point, and be sure to subscribe so you can see all of the baby updates and everything that will happen in the next 8 or 9 months. It's going to be exciting. So thanks again for watching.